welcome to another Monday, May 22nd, 2023. And still, the year just slides by. Good morning, Tony. Good to see you, bud. Hope you're doing well today. Feeling better, anyway, than you was the other day when we were all together. Oh, I am so glad that weekend's over with. Met some amazing people. Met some met some pretty barmaids. Met some great pirate lasses. Even met a little mouse. She was just she was sweeter than these. But man, it was tiring. 3 hour nights, I should say 3 hour sleep nights, and I think I sat a total of I probably sat a total of 30 minutes in 3 days. Hey, Mark, good to see you, bud. I don't know how we wound up missing each other yesterday because I was all over that place. I saw you once when I was doing a foot patrol, and Christy asked me if I'd seen you because I'd already told her you guys were there. She came in about 15 minutes after y'all did, and I seen her right down the road towards my camp from where you guys were at, and I said, right there they are. And she took off walking. That's the last time I seen you guys. Probably about half hour, 40 minutes before you said you were at the food area. And I went back to camp. I told you I was sitting back at camp then, and I didn't even get to message that you were leaving until after we had packed up last night. So it's good training for work, I guess. But I'll tell you what, I come home last night, brought everything in the house, threw my clothes in the washer, and croaked. I was passed out in no time. Matter of fact, the wife got home early last night, and I woke up right after she got home. Hey, Dev, good to see you, bud. I woke up right after she got home, and I've been up ever since. So, good morning, Skipper. Good to see you, bud. But yeah, I met some amazing, amazing people. No word on the memorial parade yet. I have not heard a single thing. I'll try to get a hold of them today and find out what's going on with that. Chance. Check out the vid I sent you on Facebook. Okay, Deb. I will. I didn't even watch any videos this weekend. I haven't watched a video until 4 o'clock this morning when I came in here from last week. Hey, Ty. Good to see you, bud. Happy Victory Day. Any excuse for a holiday? Yeah. I cannot figure out why this bloody thing wants to sit crooked. Still crooked. I don't get it. It's still crooked. Pissed on it. Now it's sitting at the wrong angle. Still at the wrong angle. That's a little better. No. No word on the memorial parade. No. No word on the memorial parade. I don't know why that printed 3 times. I'm sure you probably don't know either. Oh, but man, I'll tell you what. Yesterday was absolutely gorgeous. We had rain on and off Friday night, ended about 9 o'clock. By Saturday morning, temperatures were, um, for Saturday, temperatures were in the mid 50s with wind. And yesterday morning, when we got up, it was as warm as it was at its warmest on Saturday. So we were almost 80 degrees yesterday, clear skies. Well, Victoria Day, Victoria Day. Victoria? Victoria. Yeah, Victoria. Hey, Squatch, good to see you, bud. Pass it through to leave a like. Sounds to me like someone's pretty busy today. May 2nd, 4th, drink it to 4. So how's everybody's weekend? Y'all know what I did all weekend long. How was your weekend? Got the yard cleaned up. May 24th, Queen Victoria's birthday, was declared a holiday by the legislature of the province of Canada back in 1845. There's a nice little piece of history right there I didn't know about. Very, very cool. Worked on a motorcycle, got sunburned. You could use a little collar. Seriously. Sunburn's not bad. Hey, Ben, good to see you today, my friend. Hope you're doing well. But yeah, it was a very fun weekend. Good to see you too, Ben. I've heard of Victoria Day before. My eyes still aren't working well. For those of you that have been following the story of me, y'all know that the right eye has been going for a while. It's been getting real hazy. And yesterday, out in that bright sunlight, I realized that now my left eye is starting to get the slightest haze to it. So things weren't near as crisp or anything. So I'll here very soon. I'll be making an appointment with the optometrist to see if they're finally ready to do something about my eyes. We'll see. Don't mind a little color, but I'm not a fan of being extra crispy. Sorry. Having myself a few beers. I had a little bit to drink this weekend. Had some friends that mix up a little bit of Kraken with some different flavorings and a couple different alcohols. They call this stuff truth serum. Sadly enough, the only truth that came out of me that evening when we were drinking that was, hey, this bottle's empty, go make some more. So it's kind of like liquid candy. We haven't left the house in days because heavy smoke. It's really bad out here. Smoke. You got fires out that way, Skipper? Canada's on fire. Wow. Yeah, I didn't know anything about it. I've not been online since like early Friday morning. So I hadn't heard anything about it. British Columbia and Alberta. Wow. Yeah, I didn't know anything about it. That's terrible. Local weathermen have been talking about the haze for a few days. Hmm. Yeah, I don't watch the news. Any news I want, I go to my individual um, news channels, YouTube channels, and just pick and choose what I want to watch. That way, I don't got to deal with all the negative and everything else. So, be back in a couple minutes. All right, Ty. I haven't seen this much fallout on our cars since Mount St. Helens. Oh my God, yeah, that was terrible for hundreds and hundreds of miles around. I have to look outside, see if the smoke haze is here yet. Hmm. Yeah, let's put it this way, guys. I was so busy this weekend, I didn't even get a chance to film. I mean, I was literally on roving patrol on the radio the whole weekend. Saturday, we had a missing little boy. Sunday, we had a missing little girl. We had lost items. Somebody lost $1,000. So they went straight to the first aid tent because they heard that was also lost and found, and they had an envelope with $1,000 in it. And they asked the lady Della in there, do you think somebody will turn it in? And she said, if it's a participant, yes. If it's somebody walking through, kiss it goodbye. You're never going to see it again. So I never heard if they ever found it. I don't know if the dealer that they were dealing with might have found it or something. So who knows? Who knows? I've not seen this much smoke in years. Looks like a heavy fog. Sun is literally orange when it manages to cut through. See, that's terrible. Do they have any idea what caused it, Skipper? I mean, was it human negligence? Was it weather? Do they have any idea what do they have any idea what caused it? And this week Drew buys a bunch of new stuff. No, sadly enough, if Drew would have found it, Drew would have turned it in. If it's given to me, if it's sent to me, that's a whole different animal. I'm more than happy to use it on the channel and everything else. But no, not. Good morning, Stephen. Morning, Rusty. Good to see you this morning, bud. Yes, in many of the cases, it's human factor, but it's so dry out here. Takes nothing to catch on fire. You end up with fire clouds that suck the oxygen. Oh, yeah. And it's really funny because, for several years, The world has had those. It's not a neutron bomb, but basically, you drop the bomb, on a centralized location, and it sucks all the oxygen out of that area. I don't know why they don't use those to fight fires. I mean, you need oxygen for a fire to grow. I don't understand why they don't utilize a weapon of destruction as um, a weapon of assistance or something. It makes no sense to me. Once the peat catches on fire, it's almost impossible to put out. Firefighters manage to make fire breaks. But fire actually creeps under the soil because that won't stop forest fire. Why wouldn't it stop a forest fire? I mean, you need oxygen, you need food for a fire to grow. Oh, okay. All right. Embers will far outlast the effect of the oxygen deprivation. I got you. Was the problem last year here in Ontario with 268 wildfires. They've got water bombers and all kinds of helicopters running, dropping water, fire retardant, but it's just too big. I hope they can get it under control. I mean, especially with, out there in Alberta where you're located at, you've got that wind coming in off the ocean and everything. That's just got to be pushing it. It's just got to be pushing it eastward. I just, wow, that's terrible. Controlled burns are effective so long as they're actually kept in control. Yeah, but when the environment is so dry and with the wind and everything, and a fire spreads like that, I mean, how can you guarantee that a controlled burn is not just going to start a second fire? I don't get, I don't know. I guess I've just never been in that situation with a forest fire to understand exactly the dynamics of it and how it works, and you know how to do a controlled burn. And I mean, I understand the principle of fire breaks. You take away the food, something's going to die out. But I just don't understand how to control a controlled fire. You're gonna light it and just hope that it don't go nuts. Bad part is that this isn't even peak fire season. Wow. Practice of controlled burning should be practiced continuously. Understandable. Understandable. Glub, 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 glub. That's some good coffee this morning. Had some good coffee over the weekend. Some strong coffee. The undergrowth and debris is the real issue. Hmm. That's terrible, man. I hope they can get that under control before it starts to move more. That's just that's going to be dangerous for a lot of homes. It's going to be dangerous for a lot of families. Um, I would really hate to see the same things happen in Alberta. You know, that's happened out there in California so many times. You know, with the fire just completely getting out of control, destroying, you know, huge homes, displacing, you know, hundreds and hundreds of families, um, livestock in danger, people in danger. That's definitely keep Alberta and everything in your thoughts and prayers. They can get that fire under control, and that's terrible. Really, fires can be beneficial to forests. Some pines don't drop seeds till there's enough heat. Yeah, but in the process of the heat, the level of heat elevating, they drop the seeds. Don't the seeds just burn up as the fire spreads? I mean, isn't it like a double-edged sword? You need the high enough heat for the pines to drop the seeds, but if it's too high, then the seeds just burn up before they can get into the ground and take root. I mean, that's how I would understand it. If I recall correct, there's still 80 fires in Alberta. Wow, that's terrible. Seeds don't instantly all fall. They get shaken out by the winds and such. Hmm. Hey, Misty. Good to see you, hon. Hope you're doing well. Alberta pods open after fire passes. I got you. In comparison, just over 2 months into the wildfire season, Alberta's reached 52% of 2011's season burn total. 67% of 2016's hectares burnt. Wow. Don't ask me why. Apparently, you saw it, heard it, read it somewhere, and it just stuck. When looking back the last 8 years, a year needs some air. The year with the highest number of hectares burned was 2019, which had a total of 883,411 hectares. Alberta has reached 46% of that number so far this. My God. Good morning, Bud Files. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. I actually took a horticulture class as a senior in high school. You remember way back then? Just joking. I remember shit that don't matter. it isn't that the problem with all of us, Tony? We watch so much, so many documentaries and so many shows and so many videos and so we retain that crap that we're probably never going to use personally and forget 85% of the important stuff. Oh, goodness gracious sakes. Good morning, Santee, you dirty, no good, yellow bellied, cigar smoking, whiskey swilling, card cheating, belly crawling. Good morning, bud. I ran out of descriptives. I'm sorry. It was a rough and busy weekend, and I'm only at about 65% right now. So give me the rest of the day, and I'll be good. But the really cool thing is, um, I had, I had, or I was, my office. Let's put it that way. I had my office set up with a pirate crew friend of mine, a Great Lakes pirate crew. So I had awesome food for every meal. We did shepherd's pie Saturday night. We had breakfast every morning. So at least I was eating. To whom it may concern, my pet wild bunny seems to be thriving here in the garage. Very cool. Very cool. It's nice to hear that the little bunny's doing well. Since retiring, I've noticed I've forgotten about 95% of everything I've learned in life except how to do dishes. Why dishes? Yeah, well, being married probably helped with that. We seem to get all those things our wives don't want to do pushed off on us. You cigar puffing, necklace wearing, chest hair show. Chest hair? Her hair? One, two, three. I guess there is a couple of them up there. No, it isn't cool. He needs to go back to the great outdoors. Now, you're going to be lost without your little furry buddy in that bunker with you. You're not going to know what to do if you release him back into the wild. If he ever escapes and gets back out, you are going to be lost sitting in there by yourself all day. Exactly. The overhead door is open, and he's sitting there looking at you like, Daddy, give me some lettuce. Daddy, feed me. Pet me. Love me. I got woke up this morning by Mr. Mosby. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I most definitely do. He'll be Haas and Pfeffer before. Seems to really like baby carrots. Baby bunnies normally do. Ian, you wild aminal. I hope you had fun this weekend, bud. I seen Ian both Saturday and Sunday, guys, walking around the fair. He was having fun. Amy from Mindless Adventures was there. Mark and his sharpshooter Mark and his wife and the daughters were there. Um, like I said, I met Little Mouse. Her name is Century. Um, on Saturday, she actually does movies. She does special effects, makeup, costuming, um, different types of what a lot of people would consider cosplay style makeup. Um, but she was out walking around as one of the soldier mice from like the Secret of Nim. Her sword was a needle. Her armor was all made out of bark. Her helmet was the top of an acorn cap. She built everything herself. Only 22 years old, but ought to have skills like that. They broke Civil War marker near my house. He's been back ever since. Wow. I don't know how much you love history, Drew. If you get a chance, check out the website, dragonmans.com. Okay, I'll do that. A bunch of snowbird are going down to visit that place next year. So what's up this week? That's a good question. I don't know. They actually sent my schedule to me on Friday. They texted me a picture of the schedule, and I only work 2 days this week. So, I mean, it gives me a chance. I guess he's bringing in more new people, so he's going to run them as much as he can to get them trained in. But, one of my training cooks, one of my trainer cooks, showed up yesterday to hang out. Another one of my coworkers showed up. So I don't know what's going on this week besides working in the yard and working in the house and things like that. I wish I had the money for paint, and I would start painting some of these rooms and stuff. But yeah. Machine gun dude and a lot more. He's supposed to have a good collection of guns. Very cool. Yeah, I just turned the fan on. We're up to, God, I'd say we're up almost to 60 degrees already. Let me see here. That's still stuck on yesterday. Almost to 60 degrees already. So we're about 57. So yeah, I needed a little air circulating in here. I've not seen it, but he's pretty well known in the 2A community. Not just guns and military museum. Puts many to shame. If it's the guy I'm thinking about, I may have heard of him before. I heard there was an independent collector out there who had a hell of a military collection and was looking into putting together his own museum. So if it's the fella I'm thinking about, then yeah, I've definitely heard of him before. 58 here, it's only 6:35 in the morning. Oh, that's right, you are 2 hours behind me. The dude puts on machine gun shoots. I got one of my local friends here was actually getting rid of some of his stuff. For those of you that know anything about like Viking or Norse reenacting, there's a company in Norway called Grimfrost, and they make some of the best reproductions of Norse clothing and weapons and accoutrements and tents. But he has a large Grimfrost collection, and he took a bunch of that stuff out this weekend to sell it. He decided he wanted to get less into swords and more into guns. So he was selling a bunch of his Grimfrost weaponry and stuff like that to put into what he calls his AR fund. He has decided that he wants an AR. So, yeah, it's only going to cost him like $700, $500, something like that. So he's about halfway there, let's put it that way. Several of us are members of First Special Service for Association out of Helena, Montana. They go down there quite a bit. Want to try his range. Ah, cool. You know, you guys know how I am about modern weapons, and um, it's been 30 some odd years since I shot M16A1 rifle, and the AR basically being the next generation of M16. Um, I really wouldn't mind shooting an AR just once on semi and full auto. But other than that, yeah, I'm more into I'm more into the black powder thing. Let me see here. Will you be doing any reenactments this summer, Drew? I'm planning on it, Misty. I'm planning on it. It just depends on the job. Depends on what days they'll give me off and stuff like that. Um, I just had this whole weekend off, and then next weekend is Memorial Day, and then the next weekend is the first Ghostorama that we help to host. So it's kind of a necessity that I'm there for that since we host it. But who knows? Who knows if they'll fight me on it? And then I think I've got an event the next month, and I think I have two events the next month, and in August I have one or two events. So I don't know. I'm going to try to get to as many as I can. Hey Justin, good to see you, bud. I pay for my ammo. Full auto is costly. Very much so. I'm very interested in meeting you and your group. As far as I know, Mark, as far as I know, Napanee is still a go. I'm really hoping so. Like I said, it all depends on what they fight me on. We have enough people on the payroll. There should not be an issue giving anybody the days off that they want as long as multiple people are looking for the same days. So, well, Misty, hopefully sometime in the near future, we will get to meet up. That's where I'd really like this to go. And I mean, we're heading in the right direction. I checked this morning for the first time in like what 4 days, 3 days on how many people are subscribed to the channel now. We went up 10 over the weekend. So we're heading in the right direction. But that's where I'd really like this to go is, keep building to the point where, you know, maybe I won't have to rely so much on that job, but have that passive income where I can get out and meet more people. Shane Pinson, you guys know him from the channel here. He wants me to go to Georgia next year to partake in 160th reenactment down there with his group. So I don't know. was not as cool as you might think when you aren't expecting it. Yeah, really. Did you make the threshold for YouTube? Oh yeah, yeah. We're. I've already signed all the monetization papers and stuff like that. You know, sadly enough, I use YouTube Studio, so it shows you on whether you're on your computer, on your phone, whatever. It shows you how much you're making per day or week or whatever, and kind of that kind of gets depressing. You know, when I'm sitting here looking, I got vidIQ on the computer here. It's hooked up on the computer to our channel, and we've had what 362 views in the last day. But if I flipped over to Studio right now and looked, it would say you made 9 cents, or you made $1.25, or you made this for the last 24 hours. So yeah, it gets a little depressing. You know, people start to, um, when they get monetized, they think, okay, we're in the right direction. We're moving the right direction. We're going up. We're getting more people. You know, and then you start looking at the views and how much you really honestly make on those views, and then it's like that happiness kind of goes. Last month, I didn't get. I won't get a check for till probably next month. I won't. I won't. I probably won't get a check until next month from them. So who knows? I wish. God, do I wish. You know, they're upgrading all this stuff on YouTube, and I wish that since I don't have a bank account in my own name, the wife and I share an account. I wish that they would make it possible where they can just deposit your funds onto your PayPal card. So, I mean, they used to send you a check in the mail. Then it went to a check in the mail or direct deposit. But then they did away with the check in the mail thing, and when I was monetized last time, they only did direct deposit. But for those of you that didn't know, the PayPal card goes through Santee. What's the Wells Fargo? The PayPal cards are set up through Wells Fargo. So I don't understand, if they're based out of a bank, why they can't just deposit your money on the PayPal card. And this is why when you make videos and get monetized and stuff like that, you age very ungracefully. Subscribers can ruin your YouTube channel. Well, that's always nice to know. Marriage can ruin your sexuality. I will be running my live cam tonight at 9 p.m. and try to catch Mr. Mosby. That should be interesting. Yeah, you would think they would be able to. You would think that. Only if you don't do it right. That is true. That is true. Well, then again, it helps when you're married, retired, no kids in the house, doors with deadbolts, phones you can actually shut off without unplugging them, in case there is an emergency somewhere. Cats that don't think they have to watch everything you're doing, cold noses, etc. I mean, we're not going to get into that, but still. But yeah, I agree. I agree with what you said there, Santee, about don't look at those numbers, just wait until payday. I I used to do it that way, and then it come down to that point where payday would come and go, and you don't get a check, and then you're looking at it like, wonder why. And you get on there and think, hey, I had as many views this month as I did last month, but I didn't get a check this month, but I got one last month. So why? Well, on the last channel, even though we were set up as an educational channel, for some reason, I kept having to go back into my settings and reset us to educational. They kept jumping, for some reason, and I had never figured out why. They kept jumping us from educational to entertainment. And I don't know why. So, I like clicked entertainment and educational. And that seemed to fix it, right there before the end, before the, untimely death of the first channel. So this channel I've actually got set up as educational entertainment. We'll see what happens. In a few more months, YouTube should be at least covering your smokes and bullet bills. Believe it or not, I still got a bottle of bullets sitting up here on the shelf I've not even cracked the cork on yet. Went through all those things and I'm still happily married. I didn't say I wasn't happy. I didn't say I wasn't happy. It's a lot happier though when we get to spend time together. That's the best part of it. It's even happier when we get to spend time together. And like I said, I got home last night. I unpacked everything, unpacked what was left in the cooler, stuck it in. Hey, Kristen, good to see you, dear. Hope you're doing well this morning. Um, Put all my clothes in the washer and stuff like that. Got myself, cleaned up, sat down, had some dinner, watched some TV, passed out like 5 or 6 times, only for like moments. Moments. I mean, I'd pass out for a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever. And finally crawled in bed. And when the wife got home, I woke up and I've been up ever since. So, we got to spend the whole evening together or the whole night when she started getting tired. I came in the studio and, got the daughter up for school and went in, checked on the wife. She was still sleeping. And, 7 o'clock when the daughter walked out to the bus, I pulled the trash can down to the curb because today's trash day. And the wife is still sleeping. So, and then she's off today. I'm off today, so we'll have the whole evening, day together, and everything. I'm off tomorrow. She's off tomorrow. So it's gonna be a good week. It's gonna be a good week. Does your wife go with you to investigate and reenact? With her working nights, she never gets weekends off unless she requests them, which then she has to use her personal time off time or PTO time, and we try to save that for possible vacations, holidays, times when the family come, when my mom and dad come in from Tennessee or something like that. So no, she does not go. She's gone on two investigations with me. Um, I think we might try to go out and do one tonight. I'm going to talk to her when she wakes up and see if she wants to go someplace local here and do an investigation tonight. Um, she gets so nervy, Adam, though. Um, when I have somebody with me, I like someone who's used to it and can watch my back, especially after the three attacks last year. Um, but yeah, she gets very nervy. So I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. But, I'm really anxious. We have a little bit of new equipment um, to try out. We have a brand new voice box, or spirit box. Um, we got us a set of cat balls now to give the spirits something to play with. Um, let me think. Oh, we have a brand new field meter to try out. It gives us a temperature reading. It gives us barometric reading. It gives us EM readings. So um, we'll see. We'll see. I know I got all that stuff the last 2 weeks, and I'm really anxious to get it out in the field and try it. My husband helps me record on investigations. It'd be kind of nice to have just a cameraman with me. That's one thing I liked about Tommy Tombstone, working with him and his cameraman and stuff on some of our investigations last year. Um, also got a Furby. Yep, we got a Furby to use. Like I said, though, I didn't mind getting the Furby to use for investigations. Since they do have a sensor up on their forehead that will, engage them and make them talk and move and stuff like that. But the very first time, and I mean this, the very first time that Furby looks at me, its eyes start glowing red and it starts talking in some kind of demonic tone, I'm going to have Mark shoot it. Plain and simple. I'm going to have him shoot it right in its little sensor. I mean, when you have a Furby sitting on top of a tombstone, and you're talking to a spirit, and it goes from beep ba cookie pa pa pookie poo 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 to all hell Satan. That did it right in its little sensor. I don't have a lot of equipment. Camera K2, cat balls. We don't have a lot of equipment. I mean, Mark's got a really nice collection of equipment that, we've not really had. There is only Zool. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. There is only Zool. Oh, no. Kill it. Shoot it. Shoot that little fuzzy bastard right in his head. A Furby has a motion sensor right here in its forehead. So much like a lot of our other sensors that we use, if there's any activity or contact with that Furby, because they have not only have motion sensors, but they're motion sensitive. So any contact with the Furby, any kind of electromagnetic energy that interacts with that sensor should cause the Furby to react. In theory, it should. It should. The sensor should work just like any other kind of a motion sensor does. So we will definitely see. And see, that's the whole thing. I like the idea. I like the idea of having a Furby around to do the investigations, because when it's speaking Furbish, it's just basically speaking gibberish. But if you have kids playing with it, it's going to start to learn English. It's going to, the chip in those things is fascinating. I had a Furby back when I lived in Texas. I called him Stinker, because he basically he looked like a little skunk. He was black, had a white stripe that started up here and went all the way back and down his tail. And the chip is so high tech in that thing. It took me less than 6 weeks of just coming home from work, sitting down. He sat on my little stand, or my table right beside my couch, and just watching TV and me communicating with it. It only took him 6 weeks to learn English. So the our Furby kind of stays locked away in his own little box. You've heard of a Dybbuk box. Well, we have a Furbic box, and he stays locked away in there until he goes on investigations, and that way he don't learn English and it ruin it. Because if it learns English, then it's going to be really hard to tell what communication is happening from the Furby and what's happening from the spirit. Since a spirit supposedly can interact and manipulate electrical devices, it should come through the Furby in English without the Furby actually knowing English. So I don't know. Like I said, we will see. It's going to get a real good field test on the next investigation that Mark and I can do together. Sadly, we had some big things planned, and Mark, being in the security field, he had a bunch of people quit and stuff like that. And being the responsible person he is, having a wife and kids to take care of, he soaked up as many of those hours as he could. And so that kind of unfrees a lot of the time we had on the nights he has off and stuff like that, or the nights he's supposed to have off, which he's supposed to have off the same, or Sunday and Monday. And since all those people quit, now he's stuck covering their vacant hours, and that takes away from our investigation time and stuff. And I completely understand that. My wife's in management, for God's sakes. She's supposed to get off work at 2 o'clock in the morning. I can think of twice in the last 2 weeks she's had to stay till 4:30 in the morning. She's not getting home till 5, so she's working almost 11 hours before she gets back home. So I understand what he's going through, and believe you me, I feel for him. I think he would probably much rather be out in an investigation than constantly working in that pit. See, there you go, going in tonight to cover. I was looking at the teddy bears, but they're so expensive. Oh, I know. Check on eBay. Just go on a search on eBay. Search for paranormal teddy bears, or just type in paranormal equipment, and teddy bears and stuff will come up. I want a paranormal music box. I love how those things work with the motion sensor on them, and they're very, very loud. So you can set one of them somewhere in the cemetery, and as long as there's nothing in the way of that sensor beam, you can walk away and be doing an investigation someplace else, And if something triggers that beam, then the music starts playing, the lights come on. Um, Now they make music boxes that are motion censored, but they're little Christmassy things and stuff like that you don't necessarily want to, like little carousels and crap like that you don't want to, take out and have sitting in a cemetery. Little ceramic carousels, and I would love to have a paranormal music box. That's actually, as soon as we get the donations and everything start to come in, that's going to be one of the first things I buy is a paranormal music box. And the next thing I buy is going to be another box for more equipment because mine's full. Actually, it's over full right now. I've got things laying on top of other things right now in that box. I want to become a tester for paranormal equipment. With how active my home is, not a bad thing. That'd be kind of cool to, be an equipment tester for paranormal equipment. Take it out, actually field test it, see how interactive it is with the user. That'd be kind of cool. And a lot of people are spending exuberant amounts of money on these closed circuit camera systems to take out on investigations. But those closed circuit cameras are basically the same thing as a baby cam. They're basically a independent running camera system that runs through its own monitor. So if you go out and buy 5 or 6 baby cams, you can hook all the monitors to one board and set it up somewhere where you can be watching each one of those individual cams, and um, you save about 80% compared to what a paranormal camera system will cost you. The only difference is you can't hook them all up through one computer monitor. They've all got their own monitors. And to me, that would actual squares on a screen trying to remember where you put these things. If you have the things hooked up, um, if you have them hooked up on a board or a platform of some kind, you can stick a piece of tape on them suckers and say, southwest corner, southeast corner, center, or even put the markers for the locations of it. You know, um, this grave, Mr. Smith, Mr. Jones, Mr. and Mrs. Williger, whatever. It'd be easier to monitor if you had um, independent monitors. I'm not into paranormal stuff at all. I figure that if I can shoot it with a gun, if I can't shoot it with a gun, I'd rather not know. Yeah, but just in case, Mark has a standing order that whenever he decides to carry his 911, um, he has to carve a cross in each projectile and dip them in holy water, just in case. At least we can try it like that. I have a security cam, but it's not able to work away from my home Wi-Fi. Um, They should be able to work on your hotspot. No, 1911. His pistol. 1911. What did I say? 911. Yeah, he carries a Porsche with him. We're gonna throw the Porsche at it. Hey Templar, good to see you, bud. Hope you're doing well today. Hey guys, don't forget to Friday night on Ghost to Ghost PM, we have got Brian J. Lafferty as our guest. He is the coordinator of the Global Ghost Hunt. He's also a paranormal investigator, a paranormal researcher, but he is the one who orchestrated the worldwide ghost hunt. Um, and if you type in Global Ghost Hunt into your search bar here on YouTube, you're going to find hundreds of videos that have been submitted from not only all over America and Canada, but all over the world. And he did it all himself. I could post a link for it if I've set it up yet, but I haven't because I was getting ready for this weekend. So I've not set up the live stream yet. All I've done is done the thumbnail advertisement for the community tabs on his YouTube and his Facebook and Twitter and everything else. So today I will set up the rest of the week's streams and stuff, and I'll make sure and have an address on Wednesday for or a link on Wednesday for that on Friday night. Can never have too many bullets. No, you can't. You really honestly can't. I mean, bullets are a good thing. Ah, God, itch, itch, itch. These are 22 long rifle, the only thing I can reload myself. Ah. And I'm not sure yet, but I think next week, next Friday night, we're going to have an old friend of ours come back and visit again. I was talking to him last week, and he told me anytime I wanted him to come on. So I am thinking that we might have Ben from Afterlife Road Productions come back and talk about um, the film festival that their Afterlife Road documentary was featured on. If I remember correctly, they got second place at the film festival for their documentary. Um, Sit down and talk about all of the investigations coming up that they're going to be doing. They've blown up, guys. Afterlife Road is not only known here in Michigan anymore, but they're known all over the country and in different parts in the world. So they're doing things right. A bunch of people fresh out of college with some college kids still involved. have become, community. I'm trying to get 100,000 rounds on hand. Maybe I need to shoot a lot of things. Well, having 100,000 rounds on hand, you could shoot a lot of things, or shoot one thing a lot of times. God, that's good. Getting awful low. Black rifle. Some good stuff. 100,000 rounds of 22 rimfire. I got other stuff too. Yeah, I kind of figured you wouldn't be limiting yourself to rimfire. 22's nice, but I mean, sometimes you need more stopping power. Like, living out there in the wilds, Tony, you might get attacked by a rabid moose or something sometime. And a 22 is not going to stop a moose. Hell, you could be attacked by a chipmunk with AIDS, dude. And I mean, you know how crazy those things get. They're like hamsters on crack. So they bounce all around. They're really hard to hit. So I mean, you need something that fires quick with a little bit of stopping power. How to go work on school stuff. Have a great day. You too, Misty. You too. You have a great day and take care of yourself. And we'll see you later, sweetie. The way things are going, you may need all that. To be honest, if I were to put into a bug out situation, most likely I would grab a 22 rifle and a 44 Magnum. I really honestly, I think I might have to agree with you on the 44. I think I'd have to agree with you on the 44 Magnum, but just on the in case, I think a little bit more powerful than a 22 for a rifle? Question mark. But that's just me. I was always a big fan of my 36 or the 44, 45, 30-06. Too destructive on small food stuff. That's true. That's true. I mean, you would have to shoot twice as many rabbits um, if you used more powerful rifle because you'd blow half of it away. So yeah, 32 black powder. Yeah, I had a 32. It was pretty decent. Well, if you look at that picture I put up of my daughter once in a while, where she's holding my pepper box. Wait, this way. She's holding my pepper box at the camera, and she's holding my old rifle in her hands. That was a little 36. Um, barrel only stuck about that far past the stock. So Yeah. Well, mine was percussion, but yeah, flintlock. 46-inch heavy barrel. Yeah, I had a blacksmith cut mine off the day I got it. I've never been a fan of a half stock. I've always liked a full stock rifle, especially when I'm dealing with black powder. So, I mean, I literally had him cut the barrel off that far past the stock. So the whole thing was just, I think, just a little over. It may have been 29 or 30 inches total. So, hey, Shane, you're sore this morning. I'm right there with you, bud. My pigs are still screaming from the weekend. So I spent a lot of time on my feet. Out of 48, 50, we're gonna say out of 55 hours, I may have been off my feet um, 11, 11 hours out of 50, 55 hours. So yeah, I'm right there with you, bud. Osaka was a hard weekend on the old man. This thing was 6 feet overall. Oh wow! So that's what and I was always a fan of like the Pennsylvania long rifles and the Kentucky long rifles because of that huge size. But they were a full stock. They were a full stock rifle. I've always thought a half stock rifle was ugly. If I'm going to have a long gun that I'm going to, personalize and keep for the rest of my life, I want something pretty. I want something that I can look at and admire, that other people can look at and admire. And yeah, I've just never been a fan of half stock. I've always loved full stock. Uh, this was full stock, really thin fore end. I love sawed off double barrel shotguns. Yep, that's the way I've always been. If I'm gonna have a half stock something, I'm gonna cut it off about yay far uh, past the end of the stock. Good morning, Jan. Hope you're doing good this morning. It looked like it could break in a breeze. Wow, looks can be deceiving. Looks can be deceiving. Hey Tony, how are you? I gave the thing to my wife's uncle. Well, hopefully he got some use out of it. Yeah, I got one. Put a hole in you. You could drive a truck through. Let's see. That's why one reason I was always a fan of the brown bass. Um, that big old, you know, I think it was a 58 caliber. Um, Great for long range shooting, and it would drop just about anything. That's one reason I've always loved the brown bass, um, because of that. big caliber. I got two old double 12 gauges. They're both 30-inch barrels. She's okay today, but it's day to day. That's good. That's good. Every good day is a blessing, man. As much as that poor girl's been through, um, yeah, every good day is a blessing. Every time you drink your coffee, I want to reach for mine, and I realize I'm at work and don't have one. I've been, I've already had to fill the pot up this morning. Yeah, I've been living on this stuff since 20 minutes after 4 this morning. My eyeballs are about to turn brown. I don't shoot them. It isn't safe. Damascus. Yeah, no. Find a new job. I dreamt about buying guns. What kind of guns? Jan don't do anything small. Doggone it, Tony. She wants a minigun in the trunk of her Cadillac. Somebody's following her down the road. She wants that trunk lid to pop open and a minigun to pop out of the back of it. Pepper them down. It goes back down the trunk. Trunk lid closes. She gets to drive off. Jan don't do anything small. Still trying to get some medical insurance, but it's slow go. No, I have to start raising the $500,000 needed for the operation. This week is payday. We'll send you some coffee. Cool beans. I could use some coffee. You could send me dream. Well, Skipper was in here earlier, Tony, and he is our Santa Claus. So you could have very easily given your Christmas list to Skipper when he was in here. Um, you know, I would like a full size Gatling gun, and I would like an anti tank missile system, and I would like a how many livers did Mickey Mantle go through? I don't know, but that's a really good question. Um, it seems like he went through two, three, four livers. Yeah, two or three doesn't seem right. Yeah, it's like two, three, four, five different different operations on his liver. The ammo I dreamt about buying would spin your head. To be completely honest, there are very few guns that I want. Mainly a Colt Anaconda. When it comes to handguns, I want my twin 6 shooters. Um, but I think now when it comes to long guns, I wouldn't mind having my revolving rifle, and of course, You know, my big one is one that I can actually take deer hunting. So, you know, black powder percussion. I'm not even going to get uh, set on any one for that. You know, percussion or flintlock, black powder, long gun, something with some stopping power, so I don't got to chase this damn deer for 5 miles while it bleeds to death. I mean, I don't want to shoot a deer and it turn around and laugh at me, and then stand up and point. You know, like here, duh, here. I would like to have a Gatling gun, but there's no way in hell I'm going to spend 25 grand on a gun. I've been here 23 years, set in my ways. For 5 more years, I can retire. Then end up working harder, but not getting paid for it. That's a good point. I want two Colt 45s. Ever seen Last Man Standing with Bruce Willis? Oh, yeah. Man, speaking of Bruce Willis, I don't know if you guys have heard anything about him lately, but he's not in real good shape. They've been some friends of his that have actually, you know, openly talked about him in interviews and stuff. They seem to be really thinking dementia and Alzheimer's. He don't remember. I guess Demi Moore had said something in an interview a few months ago or something, and said that when they talk, he don't even really remember her at times or remember their marriage, and they've got kids together. So truly sad. That's why we've not been seeing him in a lot of movies lately. Only once in a great blue moon you'll see him in a movie nowadays because of his dementia. It's really sad. You know, something's easy to load. 45 Colt ACP. Used to carry 38 Special and a shoulder holster and a 357 and a hip holster. I have a matching pair of Ruger Vaqueros and a matching pair of 1875 Outlaws. Oh my God. How I would love a set of Vaqueros. How I would just love a set of Vaqueros. Here a couple of years ago, there was a sporting goods store that put out videos at Christmas time of their gun sales. And of the guns that were on sale for Christmas. And, you know, this was right in between the two channels. You know, the one channel had just died down, and the second channel we had just started up. And I think they had the Vaqueros at 400 a piece, so 800 for a set. And it was like, oh. And these were the white grip Vaqueros, all chromed out, looking real pretty. Reminded me a lot of my dad's 7-shooter, his Colt 7-shooter that he picked up when he was in White Sands, New Mexico, for his service. He picked up a Mexican holster, custom made Mexican holster, and it had a Colt 7-shooter in it. It's what I learned to fast draw with when I was like 12 years old. So, well, as fast as a 12-year-old can draw. But I got pretty efficient shooting those really dangerous beer cans. With the yeah, that's what I mean, Tony. I think they had them marked at like 55% off, but you had to buy a pair. So you know it come out to, it was either 400 or 450 a piece. So, it was either going to cost you $800 or $900 for a pair. Um, but I just kind of not a peacemaker. They were tallow editions and polished stainless 44. Nice. Very, very cool. Or are they? Or they are. Yeah, they not were, are. All right, Shane. Man, y'all, we're down to less than a half hour already. Whether the stream is an hour long or 2 hours long, they just don't seem that long anymore. But I do enjoy the days off when I can do a full stream. My coffee evaporated. No, they don't. Time flies. Yep, certainly does. I think I have thought about selling or trading the vaqueros off. Wow, sad. Wrong time of the year to be a poor dude. Good coffee. I don't use them at all. I'd use those puppies every day. Hell, I'd wear them every day. As a matter of fact, that would be my regular open carry pistol. You could gift them to Drew. Or wait a second. No, he said he paid 800 a piece, so he might love me, but he don't love me. $1,600. That's put that way. Thing is, I would carry the outlaws. Oh wow. They're worth more than that. I had a set of vaqueros though. Yeah, find me a decent holster or a double rig, and they'd be my regular everyday carries. I'd probably wear one to work, just in case a hamburger tries to escape or something like that. At the end of the day, I'll pass them to the kids and grandkids. Yep. And see, that's where most of my stuff will go. I'll have that one or two really special weapon that I'm buried with. But other than that, everything will go to my son, my oldest son. Um, the wife already knows what swords go where. Um, she'll keep the claymore that my son carried in our wedding above the bed. The basket hilt broadsword that I carried in the wedding will go to my son. My Scottish dirk will go to my son. My skindoo, my black knife. The black knife that I carried in my stocking at the wedding, that'll go to my son. So he's got the complete set. Things like that, you know. I ain't being buried. Gun won't help me wherever I'm going. No, but you're gonna look real pretty when you get there. They ain't gonna help you for nothing, but you're gonna look real nice when you get there. I mean, you're gonna be fashionable. And I'm gonna be buried. They're not incinerating me. I plan on being buried. Besides that, could you imagine the look on somebody's face if they accidentally dug me up in 300 years and I'm sitting there with a set of polished up six shooters on my side, and dressed like it was you know 1887 and stuff like that. And wait a second, this dude died 100 years after these clothes were popular. What the hell? I want my guns to enhance future possessors' life. If they chose to sell them and go on a bender, so be it. Wow. So they hope that they pass them on, but there's no strings. Yep. Yep. You really honestly can't control what they do after you're gone. I mean, they're kids. It's not like you can really honestly control what they do when you're not gone. So, kids. I mean, they're kids. You can't control them. Period. You can make suggestions. You can offer your experiences and your intelligence in certain things, but that don't mean listen to it. At the end of the day, these things are just guns. Yep, that is correct. Oh man, looks like it's going to be a pretty day. Going to be up in the 80s today. Going to be completely clear. The sun is out, and well, I'm kind of anxious to get out and mow the yard, make the yard look pretty again. Two times in my life, I was forced to sell all my guns. They'd have to pry them out of my cold, dead hands. Then haunt them for life, need something to do while traveling in the afterlife. That is true. So I don't really intend to sell any that I now have. I don't blame you. Too many times in our lives, we get the things we'd like to have, we build our collections, we do whatever with it, and then we're stuck in a hard place, between a rock and a hard place, and we have to get rid of some of those things, or we get a divorce and those things get taken from us, or something. And, I'm done. I'm done with that point in my life. So, whatever I get my hands on now is mine to keep. Now, looking forward, man. Looking forward. Never looking back. I can't help but think what people go through when they have hundreds or thousands of dollars worth of things, and they're forced to get rid of them, or they're stolen from them, or something. I think back to that old reenactor friend of mine that went to those auctions and bought all of those original guns. Guns that were still around, that were left over from the American Revolution or from the Civil War, or something like that. And, you know, to put those things in a secure safe in a large walk-in reinforced room in your basement, and to go on vacation and come back and find a huge hole in the middle of your living room floor where they realized that they couldn't get in from the sides or the front or the back, so they went in through the roof and cleaned you out. Hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of guns. Some guns that were 200 years old. And it blows me away to think what something like that would be like. It had to be an inside job, Tony. It really honestly had to be an inside job. But the two people that he had watching his property while they were gone, both passed lie detector tests. The police had no reason to question them further. And it just blows me away that somebody decided to hit their house when they were gone. So, what's up, Danny? Good to see you, bud. Hope you're doing well this morning. Seen Amy yesterday, or day before yesterday. She was there she come into the Niles Run Fair while I was doing security. I bumped into her and we talked for a little bit, and hung out for a few minutes. But it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. You've been busy. You've been a real busy feller lately. Between, entertaining Amy and entertaining Miss Dupree Paranormal, getting ready for Ghostorama in 2 weeks. Busy beaver. That's an understatement. The people watching would have been too obvious. Yep. Oh, I'm excited too, man. I'm excited too. Can't wait. Can't wait. It's going to be a good show. I'm coming down so you and I can do something soon. Yeah, and I was talking about it earlier. I'm off. I only work 2 days this week, and I'm off. Today, tomorrow, and I was thinking about trying to go out and do something one of these 2 days. Um, still got a few old cemeteries around here I've not had a chance to hit yet. But yeah, I've been trying to run things through my head, trying to figure out when the best time would be to go out and do something. Well, everyone back to work. I swear they're lost without me. All right, Templar. You have yourself a good day, bud. Don't work too awful hard. Um, like I said, we'll be back on right now. As plans go, we'll be back on Wednesday evening. So hopefully you can catch us then. But you take care of yourself, man. And we'll catch you later. Oh, goodness gracious sakes. 10.5 minutes. Time flies when you're having fun. Thinking that cemetery I did a live from. Yeah, and see, I've been thinking about that too, because like I said, my buddy Mike, that just lives a block away, he lives in the old Van Wert house. And the technical name for that cemetery is the Van Wert Cemetery. Um, but yeah, that cemetery that you guys were at, you and Crystal were at that day, it's had some terrible things happen in it. It's had some really terrible things happen in it. It was just um, it was just a few years ago. I think right after I moved to this area, that big storm came through and dropped trees, and when some of those trees fell, they actually pulled coffins and bodies up out of the ground. Um, but there were several trees in that cemetery at one time, and that storm just destroyed graves galore when those trees were uprooted and pulled over and stuff like that. So I mean, you talk about a disruptive place. I mean, it was nice that they went in there and they reburied everybody and fixed everything up and re-landscaped it and everything. But my God, I can't imagine what those spirits were like when their bodies were being jerked back up out of the ground and stuff like that. And it's just sad, very sad. Have to go to the DMV this morning. Oh, that sucks. I'm going to search foldable 6-foot tables online today. We'll bring you two if I can get them. Thank you, dear. I appreciate that. I really do. I did the online thing. It lets you order stickers, new license, etc., etc. So I did a title transfer and plates, then go to pay for it. And it says you must go to the DMV to pay. Go figure. Try to do it all online, which is weird because um, if I remember correctly, when Steph got the new vehicle, she was able to take care of everything online. She was able to order her new plates. She was able to get her paperwork um, mailed to her, the new title and everything. When I have to get a brand new ID or she has to get a brand new license, we go through the online thing. No more going in there and sitting for hours on end, waiting for a chance to get up to a window for 5 minutes and take care of the stuff. Illinois is so damn screwed. A lot of states are. A lot of states are. Yeah, we can plan it then, bud. We can plan that out, Danny. That's no big deal. Uh, my eyes are turning brown. Time to shut that thing off. Ugh. Just think 2 hours ago I thought about going back to bed. Now I don't even want to look at that bed. Let's see here. Just a second and I'll tell you. Nope. Damn it. Oops. I never saved it. So it's still in my messages. Um, let's see here. What days am I off? Looks like I only work Wednesday and Thursday this week. So I am off Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. I'm off Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. But, well, Wednesday I only work till 2 o'clock. And then Thursday I have to do 2 shifts. I work till 2 o'clock, then go back at 5 and work till 8 o'clock. So, yeah, today, tomorrow off, work Wednesday, Thursday, off Friday. $180 transfer, $15 tax, 150 for plates. Jeez, a criminy. They think a lot about their services, don't they? Whew. God. Time to do show prep. Good day to y'all. You too, Tony. Take care of yourself, and we'll catch you later, bud. I'll let you know. All right. Sounds good, Danny. Yeah, we'll definitely get something done. Been a while since you and I gone out and done anything together. Maybe a daytime adventure. Yeah, why not? It's been a while since I've done a daytime one. I'm oh, I forgot to tell you, Danny. I was going to message you the other day. I'm really gonna have to start looking for a cheap used pack. The one that I built for the deal at the Morris last year, because of the humidity levels and the heat, has started falling apart. I was sitting here the other day, and I think in a well, the other day it was like 80 some. I think it was 81 degrees outside, so it was like 87 in the house, and the wife didn't want to turn on the air for one warm day, and I was sitting here in the studio, and I had three pieces of it fall off while it was hanging on the wall in the studio. The the hot glue that I used just started dissolving, and everything just kind of peeled off and started falling off of it and dangling by wires. So yeah, I'm really gonna have to find a pack now. I'd hate to be at a show sometime in my real pretty uniform and stuff, and my real pretty jumpsuit, and all of a sudden my proton pack starts falling apart. I mean, I guess if I was able to get my hands on some little Stay Puft Marshmallow Men and put them all over the back of it, and then pieces started falling off of it, then that would be cute. But yeah, um, I'm I'm really honestly, not much on having the slime running off my pack and having little marshmallow men stuck to it and stuff like that. Oh my goodness gracious, guys, we got less than a minute. How about that? So I am going to work today on some videos for this week and see what I can come up with for some interesting stuff for y'all. Um, oh, and as soon as noon rolls around, I'm gonna go out and play in the yard. I'm gonna make the yard look pretty again for all the neighbors in the town, so they don't start sending us dirty letters in the mail and threatening financial hardships on us for not keeping the yard manicured. I guess that's what happens when you live in tourist central. So I appreciate that, Danny. I appreciate all the help. You know, you were you were you were kind enough to bring me into the group, and I at least want to look good while while I'm out there with the group. Yep, go and get your exercise in, bud. When I saw you here a few weeks ago, you were looking really good. So definitely, congrats on hitting that Y on a regular basis and taking care of your health, man. Looking good, looking good. But yeah, we'll definitely talk to you real soon, bud. As for everybody else, it is that time. It is time for me to be like a fat baby and head out. Time for me to be like a tree and leave. Time for me to be like a bunch of birds and get the flock out of here. So, again, happy Monday, if there is such a thing. You guys all have a great day. Try to have a little bit of fun. If you can't have a little bit of fun every day, what's life worth living for? So, I will see you guys Wednesday evening at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time for a little bit of evening chat. But until then, take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. God bless you. God love you. I do. We'll catch y'all soon. Take care.